Welcome back to the Coaches Show. I'm Michael Watson, and sitting to the left of me is the head men's coach here at the University of Illinois Springfield, Coach Ben Wierzba. Coach, how you been?
I'm doing good, Michael. How you doing?
I'm just doing fine. Got a new haircut.
Hey, looks good.
Everything's going well. I haven't talked to you since your playoff first round loss, actually.
Yep.
But congratulations on entering into the tournament.
Yes.
I wouldn't mind having your thoughts on that game.
Yeah, I think the first half we played really well. We had a couple of slow minutes there, but it went from a 23-22 point game to 29-22. We called a timeout. We came out after the timeout, executed, and got the game down to a 5 or 7 point game, and get fouled with 9 seconds to go, and it just kind of the way the season, I guess, was. We missed 2 free throws, and then they capitalized on the other end. We came out a little flat to start the second half, but we battled back and had a shot, even with 10 minutes to go, to get it to single digits again, and just missed it. And I think that was just, to our guys' credit, they battled. I mean, they battled for 40 minutes, and it was, playing at a place of a program like Bellarmine that's won a national title, been to a Final Four. We went into a hostile environment, and we battled for 40 minutes, and I was proud of the guys.
Yeah, you mentioned Bellarmine. That's just an extremely tough opponent.
Yep.
Now, I was actually listening and actually looking at the stats during the whole game, and it was a really, really close game at halftime.
Yeah, no, we had different guys stepped up. Dylan Sparkman had hurt his ankle on Thursday, came back and played very, very well, and actually Contrell goes down with a knee injury late in the first half. But different guys stepped up, and that's what we were about this year. Different guys stepping up at different times, and the thing that hurt us though was being consistent for 40 minutes, and we had a slow start the first 4 or 5 minutes of the second half, and we just dug ourselves too big of a hole to get out of. But like I said, we battled till the buzzer ended, and I was proud of the guys.
Besides your thoughts on the tournament play, I wouldn't mind having your thoughts in general overall on your ball club throughout the season.
Well, I think the guys, they worked hard. They came to practice every day. They came to work. I think every game they laid it out there. They left everything they had out there, and we would just have 2, 3, 4 minute segments every game that would be the difference, and that's where we've got to get better at being more consistent, and that goes with, for me, starting practice and putting more demand on the guys in practice to be that way in practice, so it carries over to the game. But guys worked hard. I'm proud of them, and we'll keep going forward.
I wouldn't mind having your thoughts on the importance of your bench this year. Yep. It seemed like Dushko Despot coming off the bench, Reagan Bringer,
yep.
Hitting those threes, and especially Despot, that big three against Southern Indiana.
Yeah, I think Dushko goes back to even before that, the second conference game against McKendree, where he came off the bench and hit a big three late in that game to open that one up. And he's a kid that when he makes shots, he gets good confidence, and that's what he's got to keep working on, being consistent. And you know what, you're not going to make all your shots, but if you miss 1 or 2, you got to keep shooting it when you're a shooter, and you're going to make your next 1 or 2. And Reagan did that at Rockhurst. He came off the bench and hit 6 threes, I think, at Rockhurst for us. And Brandon Stone was the same thing. He brought us energy, and Cordero Eldridge and Chase Brinkley, those guys did what they needed to do when our numbers were called, and that's what we've got to keep building off of.
I've asked you this in the past, but you lose some core players inside your senior class this year. And I wouldn't mind your thoughts on that, but also going forward, your team next year.
Yep. Well, I think it starts with Wes Dawson. I think he was a emotional character leader, I guess, of the team, and he came in, worked hard, and when we brought him in, we knew he was a competitor, and he hated to lose, and so I think that kind of started to change the culture of the program, and then he's a guy that you just hate to lose, because he started everything with the defensive end. He just guarded the other team's best player. And then Kyle Gupton was a kid that came in and really shot the ball for 2 years really well for us, and great kid that no distraction on or off the court, just did what you asked him to do, and just went out there and played and made shots for you. So I think you losing those 2 guys, those seniors were the core of the senior class. Chase Brinkley and Cordero Eldridge were 2 guys that whatever you asked them to do, they were different positions and what their adjustments they had to make. And then Kevin Pettiford being a senior graduating for us this year, I think losing those 5 guys, it's gonna we got to build off of take where they left it and keep going forward with it. But I think with the nucleus of Kentrell King and Dylan Sparkman being here for 2 years, and Brandon Stone being here for 3 years now, those 3 guys I think are the biggest. They're the nucleus. You got Reagan and Dushko and Jamal, you got a group of guys there to work with and build. Dylan Mozak, you got guys to build with. And so I told them when we met, they're the core. We just got to add some pieces to go with them now.
I asked Coach Oleski earlier about, that one win that stood out to him. And I wouldn't mind, asking the same question to you.
Well, I think it's easy to say that the Southern Indiana win, but I was proud of our guys on senior night against Quincy. That whole week leading up to it, it was talked about. It was for the seniors. It was for those 5 seniors, and don't be selfish. It's for those guys, and leave everything you had in practice and prepare. And I think we did that for those guys. That being able to send those seniors out on your senior day, it's I can still remember back to mine. That, it's a day you'll never forget, and being able to win that last game and the emotions that go into it. I was proud of not just the seniors, but for everybody else to do everything they could for those 5 guys.
You mentioned Dylan Sparkman, and last year I broadcasted your ball club,
Yep.
and there was a big man inside, Michael Fuquede.
Yep.
And Dylan came in this season and established the inside presence for your ball club. I wouldn't mind just having your thoughts on his play throughout the year.
Yeah, I think Dylan made great strides. It was, he didn't get much playing time as a freshman, and that was kind of, he knew going in, staff we knew going in where we were at, that to help him develop, get him used to the college level, and he really had a work ethic that, kind of surprised us where he came in, where he changed his body over, he lost some of the baby fat, got stronger, was ready to compete, and we kind of challenged him after his freshman year that, you're going to be a big key of why this team's going to be successful, and so he made strides. Early on he was getting double teamed, which he wasn't used to, and I told him that's a compliment. When teams can't guard you and they got to send other guys at you, you can't get frustrated, and you got to keep working at it. And I think as the year went along, he continued to do that, and he was a big focus for us on the offensive end. And now he's got to do the same thing from now until next October. He's got to make the same strides or even more to help us be even better next year.
Well, you have another season under your belt as a head coach here at UIS, but I believe I asked you this in the past, but a lot of people might not know that your father is on your coaching staff.
Yep.
And I wouldn't mind having your thoughts on, as your father, sitting right by you almost every game. Your thoughts on your father throughout the year.
It was a fun year. It was an interesting. He was a high school coach for 30 plus years, and so when a situation came about for us late in the summer, where I had assistant coach leave, it was kind of, who do you look for? You look for somebody you trust, somebody you respect, and somebody you can count on, and it's exactly. And so him coming in, the first person I talked to was Coach Harmon. Asked him about it, and he was gung ho behind it as well. So it was kind of bringing his knowledge in and being able to have him right there next to you to. He came to every other game for the last 2 years, and he'd give you notes or whatever after practice. And it was, just at the same time at halftime or in game adjustments, he was there to help. And it was an interesting and it was a neat experience to be able to be a part of.
All right, Coach, back-to-back seasons that your ball club has went into the tournament. Looking at for next year, what do you need to do to improve to get back to the tournament?
Coaching's got to get better. No, I mean it does. I've got to get better. I've been able to grow for the last 2 years, 3 years, and now it's okay, tighten everything up and being able to hold the guys a little bit more accountable. And we got to keep pushing them. They've worked hard, and they've got to make their strides to get better. Like I said, the coaches have to do the same thing, but push these guys. They got to it's one of those things you got to hate to lose. Everybody likes to win, but you got to hate to lose. And we get in there and compete that you're going to scrap and claw and do everything you can to the final buzzer, and you're going to leave it all out there, and it'll take care of itself. And I'm excited with the guys who are coming back and to build with those guys, and I think this program can keep going forward.
I know, it must be nice as head coach to have a little time off, from a very long season. But are you eager to get back to working out in the off season? Yeah, no,
it started. It was once last week got through. It's kind of been a downtime on the road recruiting wise, so it's been getting back at it and trying to get myself back in shape. But then the guys will start getting back on April 1st. We'll be able to start working those guys out as well.
Yeah, I noticed you playing a little racquetball, so I have to get in there sometime and play.
Anytime. I'm not very good, but I like to go out there and compete. So
that's good. I asked, my last question for you. It's the NCAA Division I basketball coming up tournament-wise, and I wouldn't mind having your thoughts if you're, first of all, been watching it, and what are some of your favorites to go through the
Yeah, no,
tournament?
during the season it's hard to watch games. You get so focused up in your own season, but I follow the Missouri Valley just being from being at Evansville, following that league. So I think you got to watch for teams like Creighton, for Wichita State. They've got the depth, they've got the size, they've got a lot of things going for those two teams. It's easy to say Gonzaga because they're number one, but I think a team that you got to watch for, see if they get back on track, is Florida. I think they've got the talent there. They've kind of gone into their slump here at the middle of the season, but I think they've got a lot of talent. They missed a few guys, but I think they're going to be a surprise team here coming through late.
I think my KU Jayhawks are going to go.
Hey, they've got a lot of talent. I haven't seen much of them, but I know they're always going to be right there at the top, and Coach Self will have them playing hard.
Good team. I can't wait. So, hey, Coach, it's always an honor and a privilege to have you come in here and give us, some of your time.
No, we appreciate all you've done for helping us out videoing the games and announcing. We appreciate everything you've done, and good luck to you in your future.
Well, thank you, Coach, and good luck in the offseason and next season as well.
Appreciate it.
That was Coach Ben Wierzba. I'm Michael Watson. On the next Coach's Show, we will highlight the softball and baseball teams here at the University of Illinois Springfield. Until next time, I'll see you later.